Good morning, Interbet fans, and welcome to the Greyville race meeting Wednesday, the 8th of September. And note, we are on the poly. We're not on the grass today, we're not on the turf, so that made the studying a complete turnaround. And that's why it's probably a little late. But anyway, this will give you the idea of what we've come up with and I've come up with in studying the card. 8-race program. First race is for 12:25. And it's a maiden plate, 1,000 meters, and I think it's an extremely difficult race. My top choice has got to be Vegas Gold. A fair first run on the poly, and I think he'll improve. He gets Marcus, a lot to like about him. But it's not cut and dried there. 5 Soweto Rose, second run after a rest, also on the poly. Who knows how Soweto Rose will go on the poly, but the Binder stable is in cracking good form. The other two that have got to come into play is Indaka, Serena Moodley for Yogas Governor, showing some form, and then Roundtree, Dennis Dryer's runner, improved with the blinkers, gets a tongue tie as well today. Obviously got problems, Roundtree, but maybe the big improver in the race. Race 2. This is Fillies and Mares handicap. They go 1,400 meters, and I'm going with Umzinduzi. I think it's the right horse. I like Sapoli. Ignore its last start. There was some sort of type of problem with a neck strap or something. So just ignore it. It gets a top rider in Rachel Venica. She is well worth her claim, and I expect it to just about win and certainly be worth having a decent each-way bet. The favorite is Another Love. Course distance, jockey, everything in its favor. Won pretty easily last time and hard to go against it. And Alphonse Baby also comes into the race with a decent chance. Boldly Go is the horse we don't know anything about, has come from the Cape, and you just have to watch for betting support for this one. Race 3, maiden plate, 3-year-olds, 1,400 meters, a very difficult race. 1 Red Soul's my top choice, very good form, and this is, he now goes on the poly. It's 18th of July was his first run. He didn't run badly at all, and I think that this might be a big improver after the sort of 6 week. He's had more than 6 weeks since he had his first run, so he should be on the right track. Remember, second run after arrest really affects him between 3 and 4 weeks. That's the worst time for second run after arrest. Billy Bazooka got some sort of chance. Siavuma, very good first run, gets Warren Kennedy, and that might be a big plus. Mighty Mashona, good first run on, and Atlantic City, 2 fair runs as well. So all of those go into my buy pot and the first leg of my pick 6. Race 4, maiden plate, we go 1,600 meters, and here I like Quizmaster. I think it's the right horse. Kamalo gets aboard it. I think that's a big jockey plus. It looks like a third run after arrest. Lots to like about it. 12-1. I'd have a very good each-way bet on this horse. What are the dangers? Aramagam looks like a big runner, but rested and gelded. Who knows how fit he is after he's come back from the rest and the gelding. But if he improves, he's got to be right there. Pineview, third run after arrest, look for improvement. That's number 2 on the card. And Airways Law is your favorite. Very good first run, course and distance. Sometimes these horses run on sort of adrenaline and therefore run very well. But he was quietly fancied in the betting 5-1, so must have shown something goes into the play as well. Race 5, maiden plate, 1,900. I like 1,000 tunes. Marcus on it, front runner. Like the jock will go well. Everything's right for this horse in this race. Go back to the run before last, was a very good run, but his next run came very quickly on top of that. So he has had a bit of racing, this horse, but it looks like he's in the right race. Young Nelson gets the blinkers. That might be the big improver there. And then Coral Copy, 6-year-old, 9 runs as a 6-year-old. Look, I see he only started beginning of last year, but he's got to be there or thereabouts, but nothing to really convince me that he's the right horse. And Grey Lingari, well, I think he's better on the turf. Race 6, Merry Raid 72 2000. Well, my top 2 in the race were scratched, Deep Global and Chewbacca. So my next 2 are Fever, course and distance, runs on, Lot to like about Fever, go very well here. And Smart William, Poly specialist, loves the Poly, gets the right rider on him and expect him to go very well. He was a course and distance winner 4 runs ago, and I don't know, he just looks well in, this horse. But it doesn't stop there. There are a lot of horses now that come into this race. Unfortunately, Deep Global was my strong top choice with Chewbacca. So now Sea Sponge, a whole new world. Everything really comes into it. But I'm going to actually go with Fever and Smart William. Race 7, conditional graduation, 1200 meters. I like the Snaith Runner, number 5, with Anton Marcus aboard it. Giacomo Puccini, good first run on the Poly. And I think that this is exactly what he's looking for, and I think there was a much stronger field. Comes back in trip, I don't mind that at all. I think he's got a big chance. My find of the race is number 1, Cool Runnings. This horse likes a Poly, and go back in some of his form. He's got some very good form. He's come way down in the merit rating. His last win, he was drawn 1. And on the course, so this is the same. He's drawn 1. He comes from off them, and he looked like he needed a last run. The best in at the weights is Prince of Taranto. Well, that's what you'd expect, because the program's sorted that way. And he comes into the race with a chance, and Ramachandri Road also got a chance, but I'm going strongly with the Snaith Runner. Race 8, merit rated 68, 1600 meters, very difficult. My top choice is number 12, Living Waters, 8 to 1. 2 nice runs he's had, and if you go back on Living Waters' form, he's got some of these horses beaten, so he's really a good runner at 8 to 1. And Tini Prinsloo, very competent trainer. 3, Fade to Black. I think this needed his last run ready, ran on last time, lots to like about him. You then got to look at 4, Kasura, Marcus aboard it, and he's come down 6.5 kilos since his last win, which was a course and distance winner. So he comes into the race very well. Rock With Me runs on the Poly, got to have a chance, and Coromandel shows pace, might be an improver. Tough race. I don't fancy the maiden that one, Call Me Mr. Greenlight. It will be interesting to see how he goes. But all in all, very difficult card, and certainly the exotics should pay a lot of money. From me, James Goodman, and the Interbet team, remember, get on the Vegas games, play the Evolution site, you'll have a lot of fun.